refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt wins. Right, the bouncers guilt wins.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Razaban IFL TV proudly sponsored by Everlast with me. Delighted to have one of the four Smith brothers, Swifty, Stephen Smith. Stephen, good to see you, mate. How are we doing?
Oh, good, mate. You know, yourself?
Not bad. You still look like you're in shape.
Not in shape, like, but
we're a dark black top, so it conceals everything.
I haven't gone as big as I thought I would, but I'm not in the gym.
Not as bad as Paul.
No. Paul's bigger than me still.
A huge announcement. Liam Smith, Chris Eubank Jr. The rematch is on. I spoke to Liam in Manchester on the Okoli night. Obviously, I know he had one of his guys on the card, and he seemed quite frustrated because he wanted a fight day. And he said to me, I don't care who it is, I just need a date. I need to get back in the ring. Are you glad he's fighting Junior again in the rematch?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, we knew beforehand. A lot was made about the rematch clause before the last one. You know, whether Eubank was confident, why has he made him do a rematch clause, etc., etc. But you know, we knew Liam wins, and Liam's next fight will be Eubank again. So going off that after fighting in January, he thought it could be a busy year for him. So when he was still sitting around and months were going by and nothing was signed, nothing was set in stone for him, he was becoming a little bit frustrated. But now it's done. Now it's onwards. You know, he can go and get this rematch done in June, and then, you know, hopefully be back out again, or a couple of times at the end of the year if he wants to. He can have a very active year, because it's what he wants at the minute. You know, he's 34 now, so he wants to, you know, finish his career as well as he can. So by getting a bit of momentum under his belt and getting more big wins, it's only better for himself.
Are you surprised that Chris has taken the rematch? And because I know he activated it a number of weeks ago, and I know he was trying to wait in the background with his Conor Benn fight and whether it's going to happen or not. Do you think he really wanted this fight?
I don't think he wanted the fight at all. No, I think you know, there was no secret made that he was trying to make the Benn fight, and you know, the boxing board's control put a stop to Conor Benn's action, so it couldn't happen. You know, looking from the outside in, it looked that way. Conor doesn't seem happy with the board, and you know, he's got his own things going on, so it looks like that fight couldn't happen. So, because a lot was made of Eubank activating the rematch clause. Look, you know, we've seen the job Liam done on Eubank. If he really wants to fight, you know, he eventually activated the rematch clause on Valentine's Day, wasn't it? So, you know, my thinking was sort of, you know, what took you so long? I kept hearing, no, he's going to activate it, he's going to this and he's going to that. Just activate the rematch clause, let's get on with it, and see where you're at. But it's done now, it's signed, and you know, we're looking forward to this fight again, just like we was the last one. And once again, we're confident in our man that we're going to get the job done.
I know Liam isn't going to take his eye off the ball here, but is there a risk where complacency comes into it? We saw that press conference back in January where they both went at each other, and Liam was fired up. Has he still got that fire in him? Has he still got it? Does he want to prove to everybody it wasn't a fluke and it was genuine, or is there a risk of complacency?
No, he's got to. Look, he's got to go. He's beaten me, I'll beat him again, and he's got to go and do that. Liam being Liam, look, if you get in an argument with me now, anyone in the room, he'd still have that same fire, that same intensity. That's what makes him the man he is. And going into that fight, you know, there was no secret, there was no love lost between them. Liam didn't like Chris and still doesn't. So the same thing's there. It's still a man trying to beat him. It's still a man trying to, you know, take food from his kid's table in his own mindset. So he's got to go in there with the same mentality, and he's got to go and win the fight and, you know, put Chris Eubank behind him.
A lot of people talk about that weight issue. When Chris was trying to make the weight for Conor Benn, all the way till Friday, even though the fight was cancelled, he still drained himself down to 150%. We saw the pictures, he didn't look great. A lot of people think that had an effect on him in that camp for the first fight with Liam Smith. Do you feel like he's outgrown 160, or do you feel like, no, you got to give props to Liam here?
No, listen, he went in a camp 100%. That picture he put up, he wasn't 157 on it, you know, he put a picture up sort of on scales in his own house or wherever he was, and he still hadn't made the weight, but you know, he was showing the shape he was in. Yeah, he went through a camp, and yeah, he got himself in good shape. He still didn't make 157. And listen, Liam never made him make 157 either. Liam said, I'll fight you at middle. I'm going up. Liam's the junior middleweight. Liam's the career. He's a career long. He's fought for the world title numerous times, been world champion at light middleweight. So he's the one who moved up in weight to fight Eubank. He never said, look, let's meet in the middle and let's fight at 157. He said, not a problem, I'll do it. He went up to middleweight and he's beat him at middleweight. You know, it'll be interesting to see what Chris comes with, what kind of excuses he's got, because I can't see him coming in and just saying a lot to the better man. You know, we'll see what he says, but it makes no difference. I think Liam's still got to go in with the right mentality, and he's got to go in there and do the job what you know he set out to do first time. He went in and done it. He's got to go and do it again.
Chris spoke about last time about he only needs to be at 50%. Do you think we're going to hear something similar, or do you think we're going to hear a mature Chris Eubank Jr. today?
He's got to be, can't come here and start saying he's going to be any kind of percentage when he got the floor weight with him. You know, he's seen it back, surely. You know, I've seen about this modern day, everything's on phones and everything's on social media, and everything's, you know, it's all online now, so he'll have seen him, you know, wobbling around that ring many a times over now, and his pride will be hurt. Of course it will. Listen, we're all fighters, and it's not nice to see yourself, you know, in a position you never thought you'd be in. And a lot's being made about how tough Chris is and how good a chin he's got. His own dad was saying he's never seen his son hurt in sparring or a fight, so that was a shock for him. He didn't expect that, definitely so, and you could hear that by his voice going into it. But, you know, will his ego let him turn up and say, you know what, the better man beat me, and, you know, he done a job on me or whatever, or will he come with excuses? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see today. And I think, listen, whatever he comes with, he's obviously activated the rematch clause because he's coming into it thinking he can win a fight. So he's got to come here with his own head right. He's got to get his own mentality on the fight, and, you know, bring the best version of himself. And, you know, we expect that. That's why we've come into this fight with the right mentality. That Liam's got to be at his best again, and he's got to go out there and do a job on Chris Eubank. He doesn't want to undo all his hard work, what he done last time, by slipping up this time. So it's another win for Liam to move himself forward onto bigger and better things.
In your mind, are you slightly gutted Anfield couldn't happen?
Yeah, of course. Listen, that's a dream of the family. For Liam to have achieved that would have been unbelievable, and it's still something that could happen down the line. You never know. But with the Anfield Road then getting done up, they can't have no events there, which is such a shame, because a fight like this, the magnitude of it could sell well there, and, you know, could do good numbers at Anfield, and it would have been amazing for the family. But it's just something that's being put on the back burner for now, and we'll have to see what happens next year. You know, whether it be Liam or Callum, we'll see what goes on.
It's definitely something the Anfield fans would, I'm sure they would have ram-packed that stadium, especially after the season we're having. Not great. Let's not talk about that.
Think about, don't we?
Just finally, Stephen, quick prediction. Only 7 weeks away, so time is going to fly by.
Listen, I'm sure it'll fly by. I think it'd be good to see them together today, and, you know, get a bit of a feel for it. They'll both go away. I'm sure, you know, they're both consummate professionals. I think you've seen that time and time again, the shape they both turn up in, and the fights they've both been in, at the level they've both been at. We know what we're going to get from them. They're both going to prepare properly, and they both turn up in good shape and ready to fight. And it's just going to be on the night again. You know, who comes in with the better game plan, who brings themselves, you know, ready for the fight, and brings the better style of their own version of themselves. Again, we're very confident in what Liam can do, and I think Chris has got a lot to overcome. You know, getting back in the ring after that, the next shot he take off the same man who made him, you know, walk around the ring with funny legs. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, how he approaches the fight. But we know what we're going to get from Liam, and Liam's going to stamp his own game plan on the fight again, and I think he'll do a job again on him and get Chris out today.
Stephen, appreciate a little bit of your time. Yeah, like I said, 7 weeks away. It's going to fly by. And let's roll on fight night.
Be exciting, won't it? We're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Stephen Smith, Anfield TV. Thank you very much.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt wins. Right, the bouncers guilt wins.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,